This is
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
All right, here we go. Boom,
Here's Beathard to throw. Shaheen, the tight end, on the right side. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the... here. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's second and a yard from the 34.
All right, here we go.
They'll run for the first time with Hill. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of one, and it'll be third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They'll throw here. Beathard able to find Shaheen here. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face.
Talk about a play.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
That looked like a 2-deep coverage, which we call cover 2. And what that really means is you have corners, what we call rolled up in about a 5-yard area on the outside receivers. Then your safeties are back closer to the hash marks near the middle of the field, somewhere around 10 to 12 yards back. So if you can break through the first level, you've got a chance to run before you encounter any type of resistance from the safeties.
We saw the example of it right there.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Someone moved. Flag is out. That's going to be 5 yards.
And that'll drive coaches crazy. You work all week on dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump.
Now they nab the rookie there for the 5-yard penalty.
So much going through his head. You know it just has to be, right? All of his assignments and realizing every game he plays, one of the better players in the league will be opposite him.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Now let's go. Green.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
As I watch that play unfold, stereotypes are being broken left and right. As a corner, you're often back there guarding against the pass. But how about that diagnosis and read and getting into the backfield and making a nice play and a tackle?
That is caught at the 7. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Now Beathard throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points.
And they're going to get him. They bring him down to a sack back at the 16-yard line. Daniil Hunter able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they will be led out by their 6'3" cornerback.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator said right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Lucky 56. All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Going deep downfield for Ross. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that. They might. Now the ball comes loose. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. And he lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. As his guys are in for 6, and the Vikings are able to strike for 6.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now a first down carry. It's Hill. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll go on the ground. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Wide open receiver complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. And how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up the first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. Incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. This is caught. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Deshaun Hamilton, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6. That's one of those long drives where not only do you score, but you really tire out the defense, too.
That's a great point, because now they've been on the field for a long time. Them going to the bench, trying to make adjustments, trying to figure things out. but they'll do so fatigued.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And an alley to run. And he'll weave his way up, all the way up, a few yards shy of midfield.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to go for a big play downfield. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A big play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They start the drive on the ground with Hill. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There's absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And this is going to be incomplete.
These 2 offenses have gone up and down the field so far in the first half. Finally, I say, here's a stop on 3rd down.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And it's taken in at the 9. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
And he makes it all the way down to the 31. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 44 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They'll drop the throw. Flush to his right. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. Well, you got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy. Definitely worth taking another deep shot here. He's already found the end zone twice here in the first half.
Yeah, go back to that same well. They've had trouble containing him, but able to contain him on that play. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. O.J. Howard, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so, because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now, his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass. No interceptions for him personally to this point. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 11 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second down. Beathard. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged.
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. In for the score. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Packers get set to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. The Packers on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Green, 39.
Back to throw Beathard. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. As the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. That's taken on the 25. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate him.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A big play there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. Vic Beasley coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just the...
Well, the pressure gets to him again.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today. But on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here. After first and second down went backwards, it's third and very long.
Now let's go.
Now back to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Pulled in at the 24. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. Yeah, the movement there coming from the middle of the line.
And you understand he wants to get off the ball quickly, but the ball's right in front of him. He has to watch it move first.
Here we go now.
Following the penalty, it's Hill. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that?
Here we go.
The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Here's Beathard to throw. And he finds Hamilton. That's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a first down.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
To throw is Beathard. And he fires one that's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, 22.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. On play action, they'll throw. Dancing to his left. And avoids the contact by sliding. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Let's get off the field, D.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And their lead will swell up to 28. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
To throw is Beathard. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to air one out. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion.
Is under review.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
All right, it's football 101 to know that the quarterback controls just about everything on offense, but a lot of times what gets missed is that the center controls line play. He has to communicate to the guards and the tackles what type of front they're facing, how they're going to block it, and what adjustments need to be made sometimes on the fly as a defense will shift. Give the center a lot of credit because for the most part, he's got big defensive linemen over his face all game long that he's got to try and block and protect his quarterback and create space for his runner. In this case, he did a really nice job of communicating and executing.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is going to be Packer football. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
Now let's go.
Looking to throw. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Harmon. And they'll get him down up past the 15. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. First down. Beathard now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here's Beathard to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
They'll look to throw here. Over the middle, the tight end Shaheen with it. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Leonard Williams in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll throw here, Beathard. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 18. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. All right, how has he done it? 4 touchdowns in this contest. He's been around the end zone in particular, pretty much uncoverable.
And you know, I typically take things from a defensive perspective.
And he coughed it up, and the Packers pick it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
It's not exactly round and round we go, but I'm looking at the poor defenses. All right, back-to-back possessions. The ball's turned over.
Back-to-back plays.
I mean, just that quickly. And you think you're going to the bench to get a little break, and all of a sudden you're hearing sudden change. Get back out there, grabbing your helmets and running back out on the field. I don't think it's going to affect them much now, but if this keeps up, you're going to have 2 very angry defenses. You want the offense to take care of the ball.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. 3.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And that is incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving.
False start, offense.
And that'll set him back 5. This 3rd down just got even more difficult. 3rd down and 15 after the false start.
Now let's go.
Now Beathard. And that's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And now out comes Minnesota. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Obi Melifonwu. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz.
This is caught at the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put
that. He will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Muhammad Wilkerson able to get him for a loss of about 3.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me an option of running play out.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4's kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue Lightning.
Back to throw now on first down. Looking sideline, incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Down the numbers, there he goes. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. Now it looks like he'll throw here. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. They'll set up to throw. And that's caught inside the 30. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Beathard throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with two straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And now out comes Minnesota. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
That 4th quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jackson. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
Out left to Shaheen. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. To throw is Beathard. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Harrison Smith. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are